go. Crash and flow.
He kept on. It felt like he kept digging. I don't know. I don't remember the clip anymore. I saw this a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was trying to salvage it somehow by like, let's hit it from another angle, see if we can still get it. And he never got it.
I think they were also in a fun developmental time of their podcast. We're like, we could probably say stuff, right?
Yeah, because they were so unpopular that they could be like, this is our core audience. They get what we're trying to do.
Right, and podcasts were kind of a Wild West.
Yeah.
Where Alex Jones was still on TV.
I guess. When was that?
I don't even remember when Shane Gillis on Saturday Night Live. Seems like a decade ago.
That wasn't early enough in the podcast scene. What's early is the Joe Rogan time.
Well, that's number one. So
I understand that, but like that is pretty early. And then like the 5 years of Joe Rogan, that early Joe Rogan 5 years,
right?
That was the Wild West.
It's true. That was
Wild West.
That was a super interesting time.
Yeah,
you're like, what's in here?
Right,
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but then once when it started to sharpen up a bit, not even just before like Spotify, but like, there was a couple of years where it started to, hey, we can't be saying this. Essentially, like everyone kind of understood, like you can't, there's only so much we can get away with, like we can say on this podcast. This is not the green room,
right?
Of a comedy, like,
he's probably like 15 drinks in, doesn't know what his boundaries are.
Right.
Yeah. Just like Chinatown.
Yeah. He tried.
I have weird things to say about Chinatown. It's just about like how much fruit is on the sidewalks and stuff.
I mean, your Chinatown is different from mine.
Where's your Chinatown?
I mean,
the AT&T market.
It would be the Dundas and Cawthra.
Dundas and Cawthra.
The one that actually has like architecture.
Right. Yeah.
That would be
true.
My Chinatown.
Totally. Yeah, that area is a Chinatown.
Yeah. But other than that, I think Chinatowns have been dying out actually.
How dare you?
Actually, They don't do Chinatowns the way how they do Chinatowns no more.
Wow. What do you mean?
Which is kind of, well, I guess Spadina didn't even have like that type of architecture. Did they have like?
Yeah.
They did. They have some.
They have some.
Okay.
They have some.
I mean, the Mississauga one seems very purpose built. Like this area.
Oh yeah.
Like every entranceway had.
Bro, the one in Toronto, they had a poster of a cat wearing a mask. That's so Chinese. It's got some Chinese stuff above it.
Yeah.
That's the most Chinese thing I ever saw. They were trying to get people to wear. Also the Chinese people were already wearing masks.
Yeah, but
they did on board.
Especially the Japanese. I think Koreans and Japanese were the ones that are doing it for like courtesy's sake. Right? When they are sick, they have a cold, they have a flu.
Right.
They would wear it on public transportation because where it actually makes logical sense, you're coughing or you like sneezing, it holds inside the mask because the drops or whatever, that's what it's made for. The mask can hold that back. Can't hold your breath back, right? It can't hold molecules back.
I love that as a cut down later,
right? but yeah, so they've been doing it.
Yeah, and the Chinese are used to it because of the pollution.
Yeah, I guess
every time you see that on the news, they're already wearing masks.
That's true. I think it's getting better though. I think it was worse. They were like extracting the stuff out of the air into like a machine was extracting the shit out of the air, and they pulled so much pollution that they were able to make a brick.
Wow.
Out of the shit that they got out of the air.
Dang. And that brick is just poison. Just
concentrated. It's gotta be
just
poison.
Touching it. He's like, sorry, you got cancer. He's like, I was just looking at it.
Yeah.
Pollution brick.
Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna be selling us pollution bricks pretty soon.
I mean, they're already selling us air.
Where are they selling us air?
You can get air that's bottled in different places in the world, and then you have it with a mask, and you press the thing, and you just inhale the clean air of the Alps.
Wow, that's totally making something out of nothing.
Yeah,
right. I just like, so this is the product. Nothing. Okay, maybe some scent.
Right,
but really nothing.
No, really nothing, bro.
No.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Vacuuming? I would have the loosest system ever. Because who's gonna prove me wrong?
Right. No. Who's gonna background check where you're getting your air from?
Yeah. What do you? If you were blowing up a big balloon and then bringing it and then blowing up a lot of little balloons, I'd be like, okay. But other than that, I don't trust nothing.
Oh, I mean, apparently there's people who are there used to be air bars. But I don't think it was air from a specific place. But you would go there, you would sit down, and then they would give you,
oxygenated.
the thing that old people who have bad or people who have bad lungs.
Okay.
You know the string that goes up your nose
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it goes around your ears.
Right.
It's connected to a tank. So they give you one, and you just sit there and breathe pure O2.
Bro, that's like just one step down from getting like an IV bag for vitamins.
Yeah.
I almost did that over this past weekend.
Yeah.
I decided to go for physio instead. But,
Yeah, sometimes.
but the IV bag is,
I think that'd be cool.
that's one step removed from like better air. You're
Yeah.
like, hey,
Soon, you should be able to go to some place where they can give you like the full tune-up oil change, right?
this place
Give
had...
you 17-year-old blood
Okay, yeah, that's
it
a little
18?
bit. Stem cells.
or 18-year-old.
I'm not I don't have a strong preference in whatever you're talking about.
No,
sir.
I mean I just was like legal. Can you do
What are you talking about?
right? Because
What are you talking about?
right, there's like rock stars and stuff like that. They have like consistent transfusions, and I think that they use younger people's blood because again, who wants 50-year-old blood? Let's be real.
Yeah, I
If
think
you're gonna
that's
go through the trouble of a blood transfusion,
right, you might as well lick a pollution brick.
so you got to go for young blood.
Young blood. That's true. So yeah, the younger the better. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
like babies are even better than.
Yeah, we got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, dead babies. No, sorry. Plus Santa.
This
But
past,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Panama has those kind of places.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that expensive, but you could also have the courage to go down there and just be like, hey,
And hope they don't take your kidney.
yeah, well, they apparently it's like it's a solidified business.
I see.
Just, yeah, it's interesting. It's just way cheaper.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in other news. This past weekend, we went to go see Fahim Anwar. Finally, on Crash and Flow, we're talking about comedy that we went to go see. It feels like ages, to be
It's
honest
been a
with you.
while, man.
It has been a while since we watched comedy.
And
And honestly,
Theo Von last.
yes, we had seen Theo Von, and that was really good. That being said, a lot of the comedy that we've been watching recently was in big arenas. And to be honest with you, arenas don't really excite me anymore.
Sorry.
You know, it's the small rooms.
Yeah.
That's how I want to see my comedy now. I don't know if I've become a purist. It's just that it feels there's a different
100%.
vibe to it.
Arenas are for sports and big concerts.
Yeah.
And everything else, comedy especially. What do you think of the venue? Because this is the first time you've been to Comedy Bar East.
Yeah, I think it's. I think that it's laid out really well. The stage is long, it's wide, which is really cool. So it gives them space to walk and things like that. And then the room itself is very wide as well. So you never feel like, even if you're on the furthest point away from the stage, you don't feel like you're that far away from said stage.
Right.
So that setup I think is great. Yeah. I think that they have set it up really well with regards to how you get your food. You don't have to order from someone. Yeah. All of the tables are numbered, and you just order from your phone. It comes to your table. I think that was great.
Yeah, minimal talking with the server. As a comedian, I like that.
Yeah,
like,
so
barely talking.
Exactly. And so the thing is that it's seamless, and then I also don't need to be able to talk. And then also, which is great, is that means you can order while the show is happening, and it's still not bothering anybody.
Right.
Now,
this is a sandwich technique, so that was good. One of the downsides of sitting in the preferred section, where we had spent in the extra $7 per ticket,
it's underneath Antarctica.
It's underneath a wind tunnel where a Sasquatch is blowing on you the whole time, it feels like.
Holy shit. This air is not just, when air is moving, it feels cold. Not this air. This air was supercharged cold before it left the station. It's hitting my legs, and I was freezing immediately upon, like, once when I sat down, I was like, dude, it feels like there's a snowstorm, and they're just pumping the air directly
onto our
me.
thighs.
Yeah, onto me.
We sat down, we're
Ridiculously
like,
cold.
Immediately we're like, oh, we're keeping our jackets on, aren't we?
Hat, jacket, hood, everything stayed on.
Yeah.
So they got to work on, I don't know what they need to do, but that is crazy.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it distracted me from the whole show. Every now and then I check in on my thighs and I'm like, geez. But the show was so good.
Yeah, show was good.
Show was good from the host, who was Jacob Balshan.
Shout out to Jacob.
Jacob, he does RBC commercials right now. He's doing big things. They're really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, they're really funny.
Does he get his laugh in the commercial?
Yeah, he has an iconic laugh, and that's as far as I've ever seen him. He has that.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Didn't make it in the RBC commercial.
I think they'd be like, "Hey, stop!
Oh,
what
man.
is that?"
Yo, freaking. Anyway, go on. Yeah.
And then he was solid, and then Fahim had an opener. this Jewish Muslim guy.
Jewish Muslim guy, like for real, Jewish Muslim guy.
No, Muslim Jewish guy.
Muslim Jewish guy. Sorry, yes,
Yes.
you're correct. Yes,
He's Muslim.
He's Muslim, but
and his dad was a Jewish convert.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Do you remember his name? Something
No.
Weinberg.
I thought it was like last name was Muhammad.
I thought that was his first name.
Ah,
Hamid Weinberg or
okay,
something.
yeah, something like that.
Look it up. But he was really funny.
Right.
Yeah, very funny dude.
Yeah, he was really
start
good.
to finish.
Yeah, so
He's also still headlining at the Comedy Bar, except I feel like we saw the best
I think
15.
we saw. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we saw his
he,
best.
he brought his fire.
He was great.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
fantastic.
and it was good. It was good. Full set was very good. And then Fahim took the stage.
Bro, he has great hair,
Mm.
presence,
Yep.
very good for his shape, and like in terms of his age, he's
not
like 40.
bad. Yeah, not
Dude.
bad. It looks great.
Great performance.
Yeah.
I was not disappointed in seeing Fahim. And
Also- sorry.
what'd you think of the set?
Yeah, I thought the set was great.
Mhm.
I know that he's pulling notes, like when he was because he would walk over to the stool to see what was next on the set. But like, so it's still being worked on. But fantastic, dude. All of his stuff. Like, but the thing is that like I've actually enjoyed his. I'm gonna just try this out because like I've seen a lot of that footage on Instagram or whatnot where he actually has a piece of paper and he's like, all right, and he's just gonna give it a shot. But like I feel like his first couple of attempts at stuff is pretty damn good.
Solid.
You know?
I was
And-
listening to it on the way here.
And then even the established bits are really great as well. And he made like a meta joke, kind of fun around the idea of like all comedians now are doing crowd work, and then I won't give away the joke, but essentially the like he has this good take on crowd work, almost making fun of the fact that he doesn't do crowd work, but when he has to interact with the audience, he actually does very well as well, which is crazy. He's essentially very good at crowd work as well. What else did we want? Yeah, and then it was like a drunk lady that was.
That happens every now and then. It happens 1 out of 10 times, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just don't get why they think like I guess they're getting drunk, so it is what it is. I love the two older ladies that are in the corner.
Oh yeah, that are heckling the drunk ladies.
They stood. They were like, "We're not having this. You need to go."
You need to go. You need to choke yourself. I was like, what are you saying, old lady?
Yeah, they were annoyed, and I'm with the old ladies.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? If you notice, Fahim the whole time does not seem annoyed at all. Because I don't think he wants to put that out there.
Yeah.
At one point, he suddenly pointed to them, and then a dude came out and was like, "Hey, ladies, you gotta shut the fuck.
Yeah.
You gotta be quiet." And they still wouldn't. But
Yeah.
he at least came in. It's like, guys, what the just stop talking to everybody. Everybody hates you.
Yeah, dude, I feel like there should be, honestly, I think that it should be like zero
Tolerance.
tolerance.
I think just like the scanner button, there should be another scanner that lets you point out the person that you need ejected through the roof. And I
dude.
think the comedian would use material out of it, like,
Right.
well, like you would say something. You're like, thank God. I think that was God pulling her up, like.
Right. Because the thing is that if they're obviously so drunk that they don't understand that they're socially being inept,
Yeah.
right? Or they don't care. But like either way, a talking to doesn't really correct something when the person is already not operating at like full mental capacity. So, I mean, I also know that they don't want to, because walking them out will create more of an incident and even more of a distraction. But sometimes I would just rather that, because like it breaks the cadence and of the comedian. Now the comedian is a pro, right? So he still does his work and he's absorbing it and he's still doing it. But like it also took it away from us too, because essentially what ended up happening is that he was presenting to only half of the room now.
Yeah.
Right? Because he didn't want to wander on our side
Right.
for fear that he was going to cause her to
Right.
increase her interactions with him.
Yep.
So like we all pay some
We
level
all
of
paid
the
the
price.
price.
Some of us
We
paid
did.
the price.
Because, okay, at first I'm like, I'm glad he's getting it off over there.
Yeah.
So that way he's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
bothered by this lady. We're like, yeah. And then every time she says something, you're like,
Yeah.
even when she laughed, you're like, I hope she dies.
Yeah.
I hope that laughter is her last.
Also, I don't get the idea behind, clapping higher.
Dude, alcohol is a wild substance.
Right? Why you have to, you can clap. The clap is the noise you're making, not the thing. But they got to put their hands up and they clap like, I agree with this.
That's not even how claps work.
Even more.
I know. You don't do that at a rally or even at a concert unless the guy
Like,
tells
put your hands
you
up.
Specifically, this is a time to do heads up clapping, which is only a small part, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So, like I said, yeah. What I also like is when that show ended, huge exit stage left. No long, slow.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic too.
You're
Yeah,
out in
like,
2 seconds.
Multiple openings for you to get out of the place. No, I think it's a great place. It's clean. It's
Good
nice.
pizza.
Yeah, pizza was. I did not know I was getting deep dish. I read margarita. I thought I was getting thin. Man, they brought the crust.
Full menu.
burnt
They have
the
these
roof of my mouth.
pickles. So if you're in the green room, which has a code that the janitor told me you can get in, and all the food is like 40% off.
Nice.
It's really nice, actually. It's one of those things as a comedian. You're like, is the food free? And they're like, it's 40% off. You're like, shit. Okay.
You know what? That's pretty damn good. You
Filipino
should have gone
places.
there, ordered it, and bring it in.
I've done that before, and I don't feel good about it. I'm like, you guys are fine. If you're doing it at a comedy show at a karaoke bar, the food is always free, especially Filipino karaoke bars. You'll get
Really, yeah?
rice and a hot dog and an egg.
Nice. Hold the hot dog. I'll have the egg. Give
Yeah.
me 2 eggs.
2 eggs. Muslim special.
Yeah. Is it? It's just white rice. There's no sauce on that.
It's just white rice.
With 2 eggs. Like
2 eggs
what
and a
you
hot
asked
dog,
for, bro. Is it boiled or is it like hatched?
Oh no,
I mean,
it's
over
it's,
easy.
Sunny side up or over.
Okay, so that's good. The
You
yolk
came
is
to
the
me
sauce.
once. You came with me once to a place where we did karaoke. You know, we didn't do karaoke, but you came to a comedy show. It was also a Filipino karaoke bar,
Yeah, I see.
and they had eggs and hot dogs.
They take that shit seriously.
Hey man, when you get colonized, sometimes you got to resort to fake meat. Sometimes it sticks.
Oh, that. I was
That's
like,
how it came over.
Did colonization also influence their love for karaoke?
Good question. I mean, I want to say yes. I feel like GIs brought over pool
Right. Did they bring over karaoke?
and cocaine.
Did they bring cocaine?
Somebody definitely brought the cocaine, and somebody took it back. Cocaine was a thing back in the 80s.
Why are Filipinos so into karaoke?
That's racist. I want ChatGPT to be like, hey, take it easy, Yasin.
Hey, man, just, here we go. Deeply rooted in their culture. All right. It's because they love music, but we already knew that.
Yeah.
Filipino culture, whether it's traditional folk singing, church hymns, and pop music singing is a common activity. Affordability, community-oriented, emphasis on expressiveness, colonial influence. There we go. The Philippines were a rich tradition incorporating Western music styles thanks to Spanish and American colonial influences. Karaoke taps into this blend. Celebration of talent, escapism.
They're great at it.
Yeah. Didn't tell me where it's from. Origins of karaoke.
1975, Filipino businessman Roberto del Rosario he patented the karaoke sing-along system in 1975.
Karaoke was invented in Japan in the early 1970s by
And then
Daisuke
stolen by this guy
Inoue.
right after.
In the 1970s by Daisuke Inoue, a musician who created for the first time karaoke machine that allowed people to sing along with instrumental tracks. The word karaoke itself comes from the Japanese word kara, means empty, and then oke means orchestra. And then it spread from 1970s and the 80s in various places in Asia, including the Philippines, where they're like, you know what? We love this so much. In the Philippines, karaoke machine were modified to adapt to meet the needs of the local communities. Filipino inventor Roberto del Rosario, like you said, patented the sing-along system in 1975, the precursor to the modern karaoke systems. While Daisuke Inoue's invention, the concept, del Rosario's system refined and commercialized it, making the karaoke more portable and user-friendly. Invention allowed Filipinos to bring karaoke into the homes. So, bro, for them, I think it's like, this is the love of the game.
Bro.
For them, it's the love of the game. It doesn't have much to do with...
Oh yeah, it's not here. Like it didn't start off. You can tell it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
It started off over there. That's why they're so good at it. Singing to instrumental things of other languages.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what?
Like English. Like they could totally just stay in their own lane. Like they have their own language that they speak every day.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Also Adele. Why not? Like they know they're so. We would never be so into a thing that we'd go into other cultures and languages and be like, you know what? I'm going to sing in Spanish.
Yeah. Although there's a lot of people who are into singing like BTS or whatever.
What's BTS?
Korean. The Korean pop group It's very popular over here.
Dude, yeah.
Along with like Korean dramas.
I didn't think it was until there was a concert, a BTS concert at the arena I was living across.
Yeah, Rogers. Yeah.
Dude, I had not seen anything like that
Yeah,
other
there's a lot of
than
people. Well, probably Taylor Swift, but you weren't there for that.
like Lady Gaga in her prime,
I'm pretty sure
Billie Eilish in her,
If you-
which wasn't too long ago.
if you were there this weekend, you would have seen a different type of mess.
Yeah.
Bro, they moved homeless people out of the way. They housed homeless people. They're like, hey, Taylor Swift is coming.
The thing is, that area has homeless people.
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
where there's,
This is where
it's
they
a
are.
nice area.
Yeah.
I'd be hanging out there too if you let me.
Yeah.
I used to before the homeless, actually.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they just moved him, right? They brought him back. They're gonna come back. It's not like they're gonna just stay in their new place.
Yeah, that's true. They're not. It's not fixing a systemic issue of like the unhappiness of people.
One thing I know is the homeless people, they will move around. Like they get their spots, they move around, they get their spots, and they don't like being moved. But they will come.
No one does.
They always come back.
No
dude.
one likes being evicted.
Yeah, not even from a park that they found a nice spot at. But
Or land.
of course,
Free Palestine.
Yeah.
Back to Hassan.
Fahim Anwar, you
Thank you.
racist piece of shit! How dare you?
Fahim Anwar.
Hey,
No,
hey.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
It was he's actually been on my list. I wanted to see since because we've seen this guy grow like another like Andrew Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw him even before. I think that he was maybe he was considering stand up at that point. But like, should we watch the OG video, the Afghan wedding?
We should just keep it on the background and refer to it. It's like 13. It's long.
Is it long? Hold on.
It's a few minutes long.
All right, hold on. I thought it was under 10. Let me.
Yeah, I don't remember. I've definitely seen it a couple of times, but So one thing I will say about comedians who operate like Fahim Anwar is that you're not gonna have these super memorable 5 or 6 moments when you end. When you end it, you're like, I definitely enjoyed myself. What were the bits? Because
Right.
there's so many. Most bits are 1 minute to 2 minutes long. Some are longer, but it's just like 40. It was an hour-long show.
Yeah.
So you see like 50 jokes basically, or 40 jokes.
But you actually laughed out loud.
Yeah.
It was
Everybody
actually
did.
funny.
Yeah.
Right? There was no I wasn't laughing to get him warmed up too. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
he
I-
brought the heat. 5 minutes. It's not even that long.
Let's do it.
Let's do a part of it at least.
Oh, hello. So you've been invited to an Afghan wedding. This video will teach you everything
exactly
you need to know
him
to
right
have
now.
Mothers
Yeah.
and grandma saying, who are his parents and what does he do for a living? Let's begin. The most important thing about attending an Afghan wedding is to dress accordingly. Here's what you'll need. Black suit, black belt with silver plating,
They should have a billion
and
views.
last but not least, facial hair. Goatees or anything below the lips are recommended. Remember, you're going to a wedding, not a Tom Selleck convention. You want your facial hair to say, I'm so busy, I only had time to shave everywhere but this part of my face. Now let's talk grooming. It's just as important to smell
This is
good
commitment.
as it is to
It
look
really
good.
is.
Cologne is most effective when used right after taking a shower.
You know what? Everybody
The key
remembers
is
the
to not
dance.
use too much, though.
Yeah, they
A
do.
good rule
You
of
pause it
thumb-
for a
I
second.
don't remember any of this, to be honest with you.
He does a full Saturday skit where we're a minute in,
Yeah.
basically.
This
and
has-
he's setting up the dance.
1.1 million views. 17 years ago.
1.1 million is not bad. It should have a billion.
Yeah.
Let's go for
Large
it.
cooking pot up to the handle, like so.
Let me move it forward.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, here we go. I want to hear that.
No Afghan wedding is complete without the sound of Casio keyboards and tablas resonating in the air. It's your job to keep up on the dance floor. These classic moves will never steer you
Dude, there's so
wrong.
much more talking than I remember.
Yeah, really.
I thought it started here. The spinner. Dude, that's a great one. Yeah. It's a great one, dude. And then there's light bulb.
Yeah, the light bulb is the.
Shake it. Yeah.
Of course, the money toss.
Money toss. Hey. I think Chef's picking him up. I have personal check.
Anyway, Fahim Anwar. You know what? You're absolutely right. This is him right now.
Yeah. It's totally him right now.
With maybe like a slightly aged face, but it's the same deal. And he loves dancing too.
Dude, yeah. Well, he looks like a baby here. He's not even quite growing up. Like his,
Yeah.
it's a child.
Good
Like,
Lord. 17 years.
17 years. There was the Iraqi missile defense system with him and Hassan Minhaj. You seen that?
No.
Oh, type that in. That's definitely less than a minute.
Okay, hold on.
Fahim Anwar, Iraqi missile defense system. Yes. 43 seconds.
Iraqi Patriot Missile Defense System, Field Test 37.
We must spread democracy to the people. Chicken must be on every.
Interesting.
Wow. Let's take a look at that in real time.
woman and child.
Now let's take a look at what happens when you don't have the Iraqi Patriot Missile Defense System.
Bro, how many views does this have? He just looks at him.
I'll take 300 of them.
I'll take 400.
Gentlemen, please, there are plenty of Iraqi Patriot Missile Defense Systems to go around.
And so he starts moving in front of him. Dude, it's so funny. I don't know why. It's ridiculous.
800,000 for that one.
800,001.
Man. Yeah. So good to see him.
Good to see him. Great to see him. And he didn't.
He delivered.
Definitely delivered. Would go see him again.
Yeah.
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 I didn't know any of that stuff.
Would-
When you have 40 jokes and I don't know any of them, it's good.
Yeah, that's true.
That's hard to do.
Also, like, even like, obviously we've heard premises about the same, but like, man, it's very varied.
Yeah,
very varied.
100%.
And then you can't call where he's gonna go sometimes, which is
It's
great.
impossible. Yeah.
Which is great. I really like that. So yeah. Well, anyone who's listening, if you get an opportunity to go see it, and also because like the tickets will be relatively cheap.
Yeah.
Because he's not that big as of yet, and also you'll get to see it in a cool venue.
Yeah.
And I think that
Go to a comedy club.
yeah,
Stop going to. You hate going to the arena. All right. Trust me.
yeah,
Go to a club.
yeah. If you've only done all of your comedy watching at arenas because you kind of only like the people who are the most popular, you're missing out. You're missing out on true fun, I think.
Wait for one of those people to drop off and then go see him at a comedy club. It's a much better. You know what's weird? Chris D'Elia, I saw he was doing like not arena, but like a big theater in Hamilton. But then I checked the ticket prices. They're like $56. And I was like, it was $56 upstairs. It was $56 downstairs. It was $56 the whole
Damn, flat rate.
flat rate, other than that, like the first this super preferred area. And I was
Right.
like, man, this cancellation on this guy is stuck. You
Yeah,
know,
I really did. Because he's weird, dude.
pedophilia.
No, but even during the whole thing is very weird. And then he even had his wife on
Okay.
on a couple podcasts to, in his mind, probably try to obfuscate the whole situation and be like, no, I have a loving wife. She's willing to come on the podcast with me.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the podcast, he says that he's really into like older women. Right. Again, we see what you're doing here, bro. Right. People are outing you for going after 16-year-olds, and then you're having a conversation with your wife being like, if I wasn't married, I would get married to a 45-year-old because I really like these old ladies. Like he's trying to say like the exact opposite of what's happening.
Yeah. So
Dude,
so obvious.
Please just go away.
Dude, he posted a picture when he got married.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. She looks of age.
Right.
And then they banned me for like 2 weeks off of Instagram.
Damn, dude.
And I was like, I hate this guy forever. This guy reported me.
Damn. What do you? Yeah.
And all I said was, she's of age. Like, it's good.
Which is like, how's that a bannable like comment?
Somebody does something. But
Bro,
yeah.
I've seen some
Some people, some wild
wild comments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I reading this?
I think somebody has to like report it and like a friggin' snitch.
Yeah. I think also there's got to be multiple people that are reporting it.
But he's the real one where I'm like, oh, it's stuck. Most other comedians can like, they still have their audience.
Bro, there's too many videos. There's that video of him, freaking classic, bro. When they're like, there's 4 of them, they're all talking on the podcast, and then at some point, they're talking about Snapchat, and one girl in the room is like, "Oh, you can save Snapchat," and then he's like trying to be nonchalant, and he's like, "You can save Snapchat," and then pause, and his face, you could see the thinking on his face.
You could see the whole calculation. You're like, wait a minute, some of those things I've said could have been saved, and you could see it for like 30 seconds where he's like. He's like, I've said some wild shit.
Yeah, dude. He really has.
It's bad when you're the type of predator who's willing to use a platform for something like this. It's even worse when you don't know how the platform actually works.
Yeah. See?
Where you're like, wait a minute, you don't even know where you're predatoring?
Brother, if I type in Chris D'Elia in YouTube, the first hit is Chris D'Elia. The second hit is Chris D'Elia finds out Snapchat.
Yeah, it's so funny. It should be. It's a great...
Okay, how long is this?
It's like the George Bush moment when he finds out the 9/11 happened. He's just sitting there. You just watch this guy's face realizing a lot of things.
They just
Same
hit
face.
the second tower. All right, 23 seconds. I think that's all. 21 seconds is all we need.
But hold on a second. How did it come out? Like, how did they...
The boy's mother ended up finding it.
Fucking finding haters. It? What do you mean? It Snapchat goes away, right? How they...
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
Wow.
You got to know that that's going to happen.
That's great. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that's...
Hold on a second.
Oh, my God.
How did it come out? Like, how did they...
The boy's mother ended up finding it.
Fucking finding haters. It? What do you mean?
Look at the panic.
Snapchat goes away, right? How they...
He probably saved it. You can screen record, take screenshots.
Wow.
You got to know that that's going to happen.
Right here. I love this. Wow. Unplug. And then to play a pedophile on the pedophile show.
Bro, that was even weirder.
It would be like OJ playing somebody who murders his wife while he's on trial.
Yeah.
You know.
Yikes, dude.
Nobody around you is going to tell you don't do that, right? He should have. Somebody must have come like, hey, you know that great show that everybody's into right now? Her? He's like, yeah. Like, I've seen it. It's very like... You. Yeah, so sorry. And the thing is, nobody else around you knows that you're a predator. Mm-hmm. You know you're a predator.
Bro.
Right?
I think there's got to be some people who know that he's a predator.
No, I mean him. He knows he's a predator.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody
so at the very least, he could be like, hey, maybe...
Yeah, you have to call. Your agent, he's like, hey, I can't give you this. You're a predator. Like, your agent's not going to know, right?
Right.
So you have to make the call like, you know what? Actually, this is a little bit too close. If Dexter, Michael J... What's his name?
Not Michael J. Fox.
Definitely not.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
If that guy was an
actual serial
killer, he would not play the role of a serial killer.
Yeah, he wouldn't be Dexter. It's a little too on the nose, man.
Yeah. So yeah,
he's really natural in this role.
Well, this guy's a psychopath.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, I think with some of these guys, it's the how do we say? It's the arrogance. Like they feel like they can get away with this. That's why they're doing wild shit in the first place.
Dude, Theo Vaughn's take when he on this thing.
No, what did he say?
Oh my God, I think Theo Vaughn. Yeah. I don't want to paraphrase it wrong. I think what he said was, right now is just like I'm going down a hill while skiing and I don't have skis. I think that's what he said. But I think when he said it, it's much funnier. But I think. Yeah. And then
also,
Brendan Schaub.
Kudos to Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
He really looked at the canary in the coal mine, and once when the canary started looking like it was getting woozy, canary hadn't even died yet.
Right.
He looked at it, and the canary was looking like unstable on its legs.
Yeah.
And Theo was like, "I pulled the plug on everything."
Yeah.
He extricated them from like everything. Right. The king, the sting, and the king, or whatever. He left that. He left the Like that entire circle, he was completely out immediately, which leads me to believe that there's a few people that knew. Yeah, you can't operate like that and not know. I think eventually, like enough people start talking about it, and they're like, oh, and it starts snowballing very quickly. In my experience, when something like that breaks out, and I think he saw it, and he's like, nope, I'm out. I don't even no part of this.
It's one of those things where there's a few things if you do cocaine, people don't leave. In my understanding, but if you're like, hey, this guy hits on high schoolers,
Yeah.
That's you have a very acquired taste of who you're gonna hang out if you feel like this is in the air, right? That's a crazy person to be. I've been around a person who was rumored to have hit a woman, right? That was super awkward.
Yeah.
Let alone somebody who's rumored to be into children.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Right. Once when you know that, you can't not know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Then I was like, what do you like every time you talk to this person, it's in the back of your head.
Yeah. Crazy. So yeah, $40, 46. You can see him in Hamilton, but the downside is you'd have to go to.
I mean, it's also Hamilton.
It's a good spot for him because he's like, you know what?
He's trash.
He like, there's people trapped here, right? And Hamilton, they're boiling water.
Right.
Like, what are they gonna do? So you do a theater there. It's 4,000 people. It's a college city.
Yeah.
So they don't want to make the trek out to Toronto, anyways, right?
Right.
So
right.
you've got a very
You got to capture.
audience.
You have a captured audience.
It's true. That or Niagara, but I feel like this might be a better movie.
Yeah, this is better. Niagara Falls, I think that would ruffle too many feathers.
Theo is doing a bunch of shows in Niagara, I think, in December.
Oh, is he?
I think he's doing a residence. Like, he's going to be there for 4 or 5 days.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man, do we go? Should we go? It might be worth it.
It might
Theo
be.
Vaughn is actually worth driving up to Niagara.
You know what? Here's the thing. I just like to see Theo.
Yeah, me
because
too.
he is a character, right? So it's
You
not
know-
even about the material.
And also, you know what, bro? He strikes me as a person who really cares about humans
Sure.
and pro-Palestinian.
Enough to be like, hey, you
starts-
guys want to come on and talk to us?
Yeah.
I'll have the president on in 2 weeks, but why don't you guys tell us about...
Yeah, and then crying about the dead kids there.
Dude,
Like
yeah.
I don't, bro. I don't see that many people crying, right? You know who I hate the
Yeah.
most?
Who do you hate the
That
most?
fucking guy, the
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna, yeah.
Jimmy
that
Kimmel.
piece of
Because-
that guy will cry about anything.
Except for babies being killed.
Yeah, I think
right.
that guy's-
He'll cry about a lion. He cries about Trump getting into office.
Right. He did cry about the lion. You're absolutely right.
He'll
This
cry, He'll cry about like everything except things that actually matter.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you cry, bro.
Right.
Right? Because
I want you to cry more consistently, okay? And I'm gonna count the tears, I'm gonna count these tears.
because it seems so disingenuous, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Especially
It's not.
especially at
Hey,
the
dude, I'm gonna tell you something weird. White people were way more bothered by Ukraine, as they should be. They saw dead children, right? They saw some footage. They did not see any of this. They saw some footage. There were friggin' Ukrainian flags on everything. My company did a full. We're gonna do a fundraiser. Everybody did.
Yeah.
And
Bro,
we're like,
you
hey,
had
that was
reporters. You had reporters going like, and I can't believe this is happening over here. This is not like some Arab country, right? This is happening to people who have blonde hair and blue eyes. Like literally, dude, it was almost that blatant. These are people who watch Netflix, and it's happening to them.
It's wild. Two can't say that.
Bro, they can't even figure out that they couldn't even figure out that what they were saying was weird.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is happening to people.
That look like us. Think about it.
That was like this panic.
Yeah. And that's where you're like, you realize how these slogans. Well, like I had to explain that to be like, see, that's why they say Black Lives Matter, because how you act when anybody white is getting hurt anywhere is how we act. So that's
Yeah.
why you have to specific. It's not. You see why it's not all lives matter?
Yeah.
Because you don't see it equally across the thing.
Yeah.
Kids are crazy.
Kids?
It's fucking. We're all kids, man. That's the thing. Is just like you
Yeah, we barely
realize
know
at
what
my
we're doing.
age, you realize we're all just kids that got this big with
Yeah.
better understanding of how things work sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
for
horrible.
sure. Anyway, let's call it on that. Wait, I might have a clip.
Bring it, clip. Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out. Ba 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 ba.
This is fitness for some reason.
Cut that out. It was very annoying to me. I can't believe people are going to have to sit through that.
Let me see if I even have anything. To be honest with you.
Let's just start scrolling.
Here we go. What do I have over here?
Dang. Is that a frog?
Watch.
Oh, dang, dude. Okay. Bow. Wow. Let it go again.
I got a fucking frog.
Jeez. That bird knows exactly what to... Yeah, like that's what I do when I catch them.
Yeah.
Is that a magpie?
Kind of looks like it, right?
Yeah.
Let's just do...
Can you hit me up a magpie to close out the podcast?
No. It's
no,
not.
it's not.
This looks like it's got the build of a kingfisher, but obviously...
You know what's great? ChatGPT, dude. You can throw in a picture, it'll tell you what animal it is.
All right, hold on. Let me just get a wide thing of it. I'm going to do it because like I'm still on training wheels. Here we go.
My brother sent me a video of a wolf, and he was like, "Is this a wolf or a coyote?" ChatGPT gave me percentages. He's like, "It's a 72% chance of coyote."
Okay.
I was like, "Wild."
What bird is this? Kookaburra. Kookaburra.
Kookaburra?
Kookaburra. You know what that is, right?
No.
Bro, if you haven't heard the name, but you've heard their song.
Oh, you showed me this. This is
You've heard them. Let's play it. Let's play it
Let's
for
do
the
it
people who are
as an outro.
Kookaburra. I'm saying this all wrong.
There we go.
Here we go. 23 seconds. Let's do it.
Mashallah, brother.
That was great. Here we are, episode 471. Thank you for listening. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
Go.